Hey everybody, this is Cyrock Omega, and welcome to the Great War mod, World War I mod for Hearts of Iron 4. It's currently an open beta, so take everything you're about to see with a grain of salt, I suppose. And this is, I mean, considering it's an open beta, like, this is actually a pretty popular mod, I suppose. It's, from the looks of it, it is the 4th most subscribed Hearts of Iron 4 mod, which is nothing to sneeze at. It's like number 1 is Millennium Dawn, followed by an older version of Kaiser Reich, I guess. Don't know why there's a newer version. Then Road to 56, and then this one, and then you know, ahead of colored buttons I've seen a good number of people use. So today is the 100th anniversary, the centennial of the first Armistice Day, the end of World War I. So I suppose just to kind of mark the day, I suppose I wouldn't say commemorate. That'd feel weird. It kind of just feels weird doing this in a way, like doing a World War I thing to mark the end of World War I, like one of the bloodiest conflicts in human history, with a video game. This. Alright, I don't know, I guess this is the dude's Patreon. I made this. It's making this. I'm gonna go ahead and, I guess you just click somewhere up here and it takes you to, I don't know, that's a little weird thing. I don't know. But, yeah, we're just gonna do this. Let's start a new game. So there are 2 different start dates. 4 differences between the two. The powdered keg of Europe. 1910 is a challenging time for the peace in Europe. The Italians are preparing for a war with the Ottomans, which will threaten their hold in the Balkans. On the Balkans? Rebellion in Morocco is beginning to boil over, much to the anguish of France and to the delight of the German Empire. All in Morocco? Really? Like Algiers? Libya, you know, all that area? Either or? Well, all in all, either clear heads will be needed to keep the peace or strong hearts to win the war. I think just drop all in all. Not the best written thing here. So, this is forming World War I. Hey, what's up, Control Delete? So we've got that, or you could just go right before World War I starts, the Great War. The drums of war are beating fervently. In the next year, a war is expected to break out between, at the very least, France and Russia versus Germany and Austria-Hungary. If more powers end up getting involved, the conflict could be the largest war the world's ever seen. One thing is certain. For many countries, their very existence is on the line. Notably, Austria-Hungary and and the Turks and the Ottoman Empire. So this is interesting. I really like that they did this, so they have this sort of earlier date that you can kick off World War I in the way you want it to. But I think right now we're not even gonna really focus too much on the alternates. We're gonna go just straightforward. This is World War I. I really hope that one day they actually come up that that Paradox actually comes up with the DLC that adds like official World War I in Hearts of Iron. I think that'd be great. So here we've got our main countries. It's mostly, if you think about it, it's really mostly the same empires as in World War II, except Austria-Hungary is here instead of Japan. Well, let's just go ahead and read what the dude's written here. I'm going to be playing as France because I feel like that they're kind of the key. They're really the centerpiece of the Entente. They're really the leader of that, not quite the UK. So we got Ramon Poincaré, democratic regime. All right, so France's revanche is soon at hand. The return of the tricolor to Alsace-Lorraine and the rightful French territory owned by the Germans in Africa seems nearer than ever. Of course, the Germans are just as ready to strike, but France's time to prove a lesson learned is now. So France is chomping at the bit to try and regain what they lost in the Franco-Prussian War, which was like, when was that? That ended in like 1908 or something. After all, surely all that will be needed is the French elan that was missing from the last war, and the Germans will be sent packing. Of course, there's rumors of a long war. Rumors of a long war could be to our disadvantage, but rumors aren't always true, are they? And these are not really the best written things. So we got the United States. We got Woodrow Wilson. Oh joy. Reform policy, Homeland Free. So it's got unique modifiers as well. Well, it's unique enough, I guess, and we'll go through a lot of their focus trees later. The United States is an isolated pacifist country. Right, yeah. Isolated, yes. Pacifist, I don't know. As it has been since Theodore Roosevelt's administration. Since after? Because, yeah, I don't know. What was, I mean, yeah, I guess Teddy Roosevelt didn't actually have, didn't actually instigate any wars. I'm just thinking of when he was in the Rough Riders. Like, that was before his presidency. And, like, the Spanish-American War was the last war that the United States was in before World War I. Yeah, I guess. I still wouldn't call it pacifist, considering that that was a, such an aggressive... That was a power play. Everyone wanted the United States to be an empire. However, the climate of the world today leaves little room for a nation with America's power to stay out of these affairs. Though Wilson has ran a campaign on isolationism and seems to have little incentive to change course, the spirit of the Great War could easily force the USA's hand. With Mexico unstable and Europe at each other's throats, Europeans... Jeez, I think this dude is worse English than Swedes. How long can the US rise above the fight? That's kind of a weird sentence. Rise above the fight. I understand what he's trying to say, but... yeah, well, whatever. Alright, we got George V, which is kind of interesting that a lot of mods, I feel, even though it's democratic, they still have monarchs. Especially for the UK, they always choose monarchs to be the real leader, as opposed to in the base game, in the vanilla game, I mean, it's always like Churchill, and it's unless you go for the authoritarian or you go for the fascist or neutral route, then you actually get the king in charge. There's always a modifier for whoever the king is, but he's never the leader. Anyway, the situation in Europe has become too much to bear. Germany and France are both far too close to Britain's position for the comfort of the British public. The Kaiser I don't know what the German grammar of it would be, but I feel like that should not be capitalized. It's like the king. But I mean, the Kaiser is kind of specific to German. Whatever. I'm just gonna nitpick his grammar the entire way through. The Kaiser even has the gall to challenge the Royal Navy's dominance. When the war all fear is to come, something simply must be done. Or must it? Alright. There is the option to let France and Germany grind each other down and build ourselves up. Of course, British troops must get involved if Germany or France perhaps end up attacking any British allies. Then we got the German Empire. Herr von Bismarck's prediction that the next war will start with a spark from the powder keg of the Balkans seems to be... Is that a B? I mean, I guess that's gotta be an H. No, it looks a lot... Oh, whatever. Further and further, because that looks different from that H. That's gotta be a B. Further and further approaching reality. Yeah. What's up, Jackies? Like, I don't want to believe that he just put a B in between there. It's a beta. It's like a 0.6, whatever. If you're watching this mod, dude, just let me spell check you. And further approaching reality, with all the tension stemming from the region, there is no doubt a war between German and French allies will break out soon. Germany, therefore, must be prepared. The time for diplomacy is over. The German army must be readied for what could be a long, gruesome, and worst of all, two-front war. I appreciate the Oxford comma, though. We got Italy. 22 years ago, Italy half-heartedly joined the Triple Alliance with Germany and the hated Austrians despite France's gains in Tunisia. Today, the alliance is the most shaky in Europe. With her old alliance, Italy has the chance to get Savoy, Nice, Corsica, and Tunisia for herself. However, the Entente would provide the Dalmatian coast and seems much more able to do so. Italy still has time before the war to make a decision, but on which side does her fate lay? Lie! Lie, please! Lay is... Dude. Whatever, okay, I'm done nitpicking the grammar. Won't point it out anymore. Austria-Hungary is a resilient state and has survived much hardship where other countries would be destroyed. Yet the increasing support for pan-Slavism in Russia, combined with the fervor of war in the Balkans, poses a threat that may very well spell the end of the Habsburg rule. Worse yet, the rivalry with the Italians has started again in earnest. Austria must quell the fury of the Balkan states and stand with Germany against their enemies, or the empire may become just a cherished memory. And we got Russia. The Balkan Wars did little to calm the people of the Russian Empire. Though Russia had thrown their support behind the South Slavic powers, only Serbia and Montenegro are loyal to the Empire of the East, and crisis is on the horizon if things don't change and now. Serbian extremists have proposed trying to break a war out with Austria-Hungary, and this is exactly what Russia needs. The clear goal of German Poland, there are no commas there, German Poland and the Slavic lands in Austria are in Russia's sights. So it is interesting. I like the really emphasizes the territorial ambitions of each country, even like France. Alright, so we've got the Ottoman Empire. What was once the world's greatest empire is now fallen to near ruin. The Sultan is no longer considered a major power in Europe, and the carving of... Son of a... No... Carving of Turkey between all of the European powers is a constant threat that crawls closer and closer to reality. To make matters worse, the incompetent Enver Pasha has seized effective control of the government. The best course of action, according to the Port, I don't know what that is to draw close to Germany and hope their mighty army can protect us in our time of need. I really wish that this actually had more. Yeah, twice the country, twice as good. Yeah. Yeah. Like, I really wish that he made that he had just said, like, just note that Turkey is the sick man of Europe. That's what it was called. A lot of foreigners called it. Now I got Serbia. Little Serbia. The Balkan Wars saw a massive success for Serbia, as well as their most important ally in Greece. The hard part, however, has just begun. The Habsburgs still hold the region of Bosnia, as well as other South Slavic territories. Worse yet, they see Serbia as a troublemaker, and would be more happy to rid the world of the state at a moment's notice. Okay. Fortunately, Russia seems to have taken a liking to Serbia, though perhaps for malicious reasons. If Tsar Peter utilizes this, the world may change forever. Bulgaria was wrong to trust the Greeks and the Romanians to stay out of the inevitable conflict between themselves and Serbia, and are down to the lowest territorial extent since independence from the Ottoman Empire. It is unlikely they will be fooled twice. Russia seems next in line of false friends, seeking only to profit from the state. The only countries that seem to genuinely have Bulgaria's best interest at heart are Germany and Austria. Perhaps it's time for a new alliance. Yeah, you can really tell that this is early on. It's like all the major powers have stuff over here, but these guys don't. Protected by the British, seen by the German as German singular, I guess, fine, as a backdoor leading to Paris, avoiding the fortified French military's concentration along the Franco-German border. The Kingdom of Belgium is in a tricky situation. King Albert I will have a difficult choice to make: either stand against the Kaiser Wilhelm II and stood side by side with the Entente, or either let the German troops walk in its territory and take a different course of action. Unfortunately, it turns out Emperor Taisho is cursed with mental afflictions which have seriously impacted his ability to rule. Fortunately for Japan, his ministers and other members of the imperial court have begun to administrate Japan, whose public is getting the first taste of liberty. But still, what of the war in Europe? Would it be to Japan's benefit to throw in? After all, the British-Japanese alliance is tenuous at best, and Japan may be better off simply waiting to choose which side will serve its interests. While initially it seemed Madero's victory in the first phase of the Mexican Civil War was the end of it, in 1913 he was deposed, killed, and replaced by one of his former generals, Victoriano Huerta. Huerta is not popular or terribly competent, and few see him lasting long in command of the nation. Yeah, proofread is very important. This just makes it look like the mod is made by an idiot, which it's not. I mean, the dude clearly is, as we're going to see, is quite competent with the programming aspect. And of course, this is an early build. This is a beta. This is not finished. But it's funny. It's funny to read this. I'm glad I'm reading all of this because it's entertaining at the very least. I'm already almost 25 minutes in. Yeah. Still, there is no agreement among the Mexican populace as to who is the next leader. Some rally behind causes as extreme as communism or military dictatorship. Will civil war rear its ugly head again? You know, it really makes me wonder what exactly communism looked like in 1914, because this is pre-Soviet, obviously. So would they really call it communism? Would they call it Marxism? I don't know. I would research that a little bit more carefully. Oh, and the Nederlanden. And Wilhelmina. Definitely more of a waifu than she's probably going to be once Man the Guns comes out. She's a bit older then, but still an ass-beating waifu, even then. Since the Second Hodge Conference in 1907, the Netherlands do everything to avoid political alliance with another European power. Okay, I'm not going to nitpick. And the drums of war resound to the gates of Amsterdam, and despite their strong policy of neutrality, the peaceful mill country could soon find itself back to the wall, having to make a choice find itself back to the wall to make a choice that could forever change the future of the Dutch Empire. Did ever no one knows the fiercely patriotic Queen Wilhelmina, how the fiercely patriotic Queen Wilhelmina would react. All right, let's take a look at the look at the world though. We'll take a look at the whole thing. We're gonna choose France, but I want to take a look around. Yeah, first off, the map looks pretty good. That's a nice looking Austria-Hungary. Germany's looking solid. Big old Russia, naturally. The Great Mongolian State. All right, he actually he went out of his way for portraits of like everybody, so that's good to see. Oh, look at little Persian guy. He's way out of his league. Portugal. And he's also got music. I'm sure this is what do you call it? Anyone, what's the word for it, damn it? And it's like it's not a copyright thing. Notice the Paraguay is barely a sliver of anything here. Chile, Peru. Ecuador is a bit thicker here. Interesting that he's got Japan being kind of yellow. Like as opposed to the white of the vanilla game. All right. It's like some of these are portraits and others are like photographs. I'd personally go Paraguay World Conquest happening. Like personally, I would prefer the consistency of like either portraits or photographs rather than going between the two. I don't know. Not a big deal. That's so far only the like my second biggest issue with the game. First, it's the grammar, spelling, my biggest problem right now. So yeah, it's looking good. Like everything seems pretty like the yeah. Anyway, let's just jump right into it. We're gonna be going with France. There's no Hey Zlor, how's it going, dude? I'm just if I ever come back to this game, maybe when it's more finished or whatever, I'd maybe turn the historical focuses off, but right now I think I want to have them on. Won't do Iron Man, don't need to do that. I just kind of want to go for whatever the sort of vanilla World War I experience would be with this mod. So, let's go ahead and fire it up. Well, I mean, this isn't vanilla. This is a mod, a World War I mod, as you can tell. Just like Kaiserreich, which is World War II, if World War I went the opposite way. I just want to play. This is just going to be a one-off where I try out World War I in this mod. I may come back to it later and do a world conquest as Uruguay. But, you know. Alright. Take a look at our stuff here. So, because I started at the later date, a lot of these have already been chosen for me. So yeah, it's help Belgium at war. France is a faction leader. Let's take a look at the faction map mode. Like, what exactly do we have here? We've got the Entente, we've got the Central Powers, and naturally that's all. Which is as to be expected. So, our stuff, the diplomatic focus, upgrade our stuff, chemical warfare focus. You know, we could do guns. Maybe a navy? Possibly even planes? No, let's focus on mustard gas. Let's focus on just like suffocating these poor young men. The original focus. Oh, it's so good. Oh. Blimps. Zeppelin rules. Yeah, so that's one of the things. Never ever try on a World War I helmet. They're heavy as hell. They'll give you a migraine. Crush your skull. Alright, so we got just gas masks do straight up infantry defense plus 10%. Man, he goes like some unique things. This is probably where the vanilla tree starts. Horse-drawn vehicles. Yeah, I appreciate this. I appreciate that. Horse-drawn ambulance. Yeah. Means this is about the same, a little bit more expanded. I'm sure like these are, if I were to actually compare, it really stack. Like it would eventually getting through this really be like twice as powerful because I went through all this. Alright, we got planes, boys. Planes. Big boy planes. Yo, airships. Anything else? Let's see. Doctrine. Cool, cool. Electronic engineering. Continuous track. Cool. Poison gas. Oh, lordy. The wheelbarrow. Wheelbarrow. We've invented it, boys. We've made it. We've done it. Almost. 76 days. We'll make one. Promise. It'll be the next biggest thing since the pickaxe. Oil. That's that. So yeah, I just take a look through this again. A lot of construction stuff. This is pretty normal sort of stuff you'd expect. A lot more down here. This is just kind of starting to get into the... this is just the vanilla focus tree down here. Which makes sense, because the game could continue on, and you would, say, do all that kind of stuff. This is new, but it could lead into all that stuff. So I believe I looked at this earlier, and I believe political effort is actually shared. Like, this is all new, but it's not unique. France and England get it. Do all the democracies get it? Their political effort is a bit different. Soviet States of America with a K, because naturally the English-speaking Americans would change it to the K, because, you know, communists are from Russia, even though communists aren't from Russia yet. Or is that German? Do the Germans spell with a K? Do the Russians? I mean, the Russians use Cyrillic. I don't know. Actually, yeah, no, the K makes sense if it's kind of they wouldn't change their name just because they're communist. They wouldn't change how you spell America just because, like, hey, we're Marxists now, so now we do Marx things, like communize, and spell things with Ks. Jeez. I don't know, nitpick, it's not a big deal. Not a huge deal. Just kind of weird. But yeah, I mean, I guess the UK and they've still got vanilla. No? They've actually got... Is this like a new vanilla focus tree? Alright, Norway and Sweden have the same one. I'm guessing Denmark does too. Yeah. There's Mongolia. That's the question. Yes, okay, he's made a new generic focus tree. Which is cool. I can dig that. More specified to the situation at hand. Support Germany, support France, things like that. Alright, so anyway, our focus tree that we're going to be looking at. So the UK and France have this political effort, so they can choose between being more democratic, being more communist. Kind of weird to me that he calls this political correctness. I feel that's very anachronistic. I don't think anyone in 1914 ever used political and correctness together to do anything. Pretty sure. I feel that's kind of noting the leanings of the mod creator. Conscious propaganda. But yeah, I wouldn't. The focus trees aren't terribly interesting. I kind of gotta wonder that the purpose of so many of these just mechanical ones, like infrastructure effort 2, construction effort 3, another research slot, more infrastructure, another research slot. Like, is it more of a balancing thing, or did he just kind of make like, all right, let's just cram more stuff into here? And I guess he doesn't have the art capability or understanding of how the mechanics work to like make a dirigible, to make a neat Zeppelin thing here. I don't blame him for that. That's fine. Like, same with chemical warfare. Well, I mean, he kind of did that. Maybe he just hasn't gotten to that part yet. He has, I mean, he's gotten a lot of unique pictures here. I believe those are more... Is that a photograph, or is that actually computer generated? I think it's computer generated. This consistency, I feel, is good. It's not as neat as the vanilla game, but that's to be expected. I appreciate the effort here. What else? I know I'm taking a lot of time to look through this, but it's interesting to me. My first real mod that I've played in this game. Like, artillery only doesn't count. Yeah, it's like, look at all this. Like, this is just artillery, equipment, artillery, equipment, doctrine, equipment, artillery, armor, motorized. Kind of weird that these are just kind of free floating. Yeah, it's like, I'd say these aren't really interesting focus trees. They kind of do their job, and that's about it. And they kind of tackle very surface level issues that are going on at the time. There's nothing too crazy, like France doesn't have like return the king or anything, which is kind of weird. Maybe this guy is more interested in the historical aspect of the game rather than the alternate history. So that's just kind of a personal preference thing. Can Australia like make the emus become independent or anything? Alright, they've got a generic tree, that's fine. I'm guessing the British Raj does as well. Yeah. That's cool, that's fine. Okay, that's about that. Let's actually get started here. Alright, you are not in a faction at the moment. Let's see. It's been a while since I played. I did play a game in the summer. Oh, so everyone's green. Gross. Only the horse. Oh, okay, we got a couple guys that aren't green. Let's see. Kind of weird that you choose that these are mutually exclusive, and they don't lead to any differences though. I feel there's no point in making these mutually exclusive because we're in the same faction with both of them. Does it really choose one or the other? And it's only an opinion benefit. Those are kind of the most pointless things ever in this game, unless they directly lead into an alliance. I feel there's no point in an opinion bonus. If there is, it's negligible. Alright, what's this? We support in Italy's claims in Austria. Though they will not be immediately won over, we can have, at the very least, begin the process of leading them away from the Central Powers and the Entente, so long as they judge that territory more valuable than our own Italian territory. Alright, the good acceptance of democratic diplomacy. Or is that democratic support? Alright, so be aggressive against them. It's like, see, this one just increases opinion of both of them anyway. So it's like, what's the point of this? Unless there's a reason to choose one or the other than the sake of choosing one or the other, don't make them mutually exclusive. Alright, this is Greece. Alright. I think the first thing we should do... Bureaucracy. Nah. That's useful. Land doctrine, naval doctrine, air doctrine. I don't know how quickly the war is gonna kick off. I think, okay, one of them needs to be at war. I think we should go down the land naval doctrine speed stuff. There's so many tech ones. It's like most of this tree is tech. Which is pretty uninteresting, if I do say so myself. I mean, if we get Italy in, we can at very least... Well, if they stay neutral, we don't even need to focus on that front. I don't know what Germany would do. I mean, do they have something that would actually get Italy into their land? I mean, they have already decided not to support Italy, so that's fine. Ugh. I feel like this is kinda... If you've already lost the war, then you sort of lean into doing the World War II stuff. And this is just gross. I'm pretty sure this is essentially marking the beginning of the Holocaust. So I'd rather not ever touch that, ever. It's gross enough for me personally to even play as Nazi Germany, let alone, like, instigate the Holocaust. I know it's a video game, but it's still... I don't like it. I don't like getting anywhere close to that. That's just coup. Yeah, I mean, I kind of feel like if you're gonna play the World War I mod, it makes sense why he would include, I assume he, and I assume one dude, I don't know. It makes sense to include the vanilla tree. Like, because time is just moving forward towards this, and this is what would happen. But really, in a video game, if you win World War I, it's kind of difficult for the mechanics to actually lead to a historical beginning of a World War II. Because chances are, you're not gonna just do everything the same. And, I mean, you've already won. You win the game, really, when you defeated the other guys. Would you really just kind of stick around for the second war? Just a thought. Anyway. So, I guess I'm just gonna go down this. Gonna go for the bureaucracy so that I can get this. Alright, let's do tech. Do gas masks. Not gonna bother with the Navy that much. Soft attack, hard attack. Organization. Do this. If my World War I knowledge is of any use here, I feel like breakthrough would be important. Continuous track is a system of vehicle propulsion in which a continuous band of treads or track plates is driven by 2 or more wheels. Alright. let's actually start. What are my forts looking like right now? Oh, I don't even have forts. Requires defensive bunkers. Where are they? A lot of stuff here. That just leads into vanilla. Hopefully we can just win the war and we'll be home by Christmas. I guess we'll go heavy industry. Alright, let's do civilian factories. Yeah, let's make a bunch of civilian factories right away. Try and keep them off the front at the moment. Alright, so let's maybe not go quite that hard. Let's get you up to like 30. Do we want 30? We've got 15 right now, so that's pretty solid. Military factories, that's important. Go with, let's kind of stagger them here a little bit. Sure. That sounds good. Military factories. We need some chromium here. A little bit of oil. Give it to me, America. Let's see. Okay, and I'll also upgrade you. Dreadnought 3. Ah, we're almost done there. Alright, I think that's solid. Alright, let's select everybody. Why don't you... that's a lot of guys. Alright. And my colonies. You dudes. Nisha's apparently independent. They're a puppet of mine. Because you guys, I don't know, I'll probably just have them garrison or something. Actually, no, better idea, better idea, better idea. Let's just really quick take all you dudes. And we will work on taking out the German stuff down here. You can just don't do that. Split you in half. Nope, that's not what I meant to do. Been a while. And you guys take on this. You guys take on this. Just to be certain. They want the, like, what are the resources they've got over there? Yeah, it's like they've got wood. Wood. That's really a resource? Wood? Fine. Okay. Wood. That's all right, I guess. Coal makes sense, but wood? Really? How desperately did they need wood in World War I? Really? I don't know. I could be wrong. I could be supremely dumb. Get you guys in a different theater. Alright, let's get you all, first of all, under a... I like the max entrenchment. So that we don't die. Alright, I don't have the power for that stuff yet. All of you guys, you can be... Get a couple generals. We're probably gonna... We got a lot of dudes. Like, ass loads of dudes right now. Alright, I should probably be organizing this a little bit better. Yeah, sorry this is kind of slow. I just kind of want to get acclimated to all this. Let's see. Let's get all of our green boys. Let's just, better yet, select everybody. And we'll divide them between who's green and who is not, first of all. Alright. Alright, this is gonna be the green army. We probably have enough guys, we certainly have enough guys, that having a bunch of green dudes just get ready should be fine. Got so many men. Like, holy crap, these are a lot of units. Maybe that's a better... That's how the mod maker... kind of is trying to simulate... Let's get regular. Trying to simulate... just the just strength of the defenses. So many of them are green. Alright, there we go. And you boys. Got like one Alpine division. Well, let's go ahead and let's make an army just of horses. They can be our push. All right, that's good. So, you guys. Front line there. Petain. But he's useful, so... No one else has any traits. No other generals have traits. You guys just, exercise. Actually, better idea. Have you just be out of this. And you have a front of your own. You will have an offensive, yeah, a front of your own. Right up along there. And you can have your own field marshal. Actually, you have this guy. You have max entrenchment. You have the offensive dude. Alright. There's a decision available. A lot of decisions here. A lot of them are vanilla. Can even realize the European Union. Give refuge to German scientists? I don't know. Alright, anyway, naval guys. Dockyards. I guess you can do... I wish you had unique portraits for the boats. How about more dreadnoughts? All right. Let's see how this goes. Kings of Montenegro is proclaimed. Prince Nicholas of Montenegro proclaimed the Kingdom of Montenegro in Cetinje on 28th of August 1910, elevating the country from the rank of principality. Since 1860, the prince, that really shouldn't be capitalized, has ruled the country and has initiated several modernizing reforms. So, okay, this person is clearly British, or is using, or learned like British English. He is now a king. Long may he reign. What? Alright, you are a veteran player of Hearts of Iron Saga, and you want a new challenge. We added new difficulties to the game. Winky winky a-hole. Not today. I got balls of steel. Tonight we dine in hell. Ha-oh. Not today. I'm not a veteran. I wouldn't say I'm a veteran. I guess you can patrol all this. Yeah, we're gonna need to also patrol the Mediterranean. Austria-Hungary is gonna be a pain. Interesting. Interesting. Alright, I'm gonna make sure to deal with you. Yes. There as well. Alright. Yeah, sorry it took me so long to get that set up. I just was taking a good look at the mod. Alright, now. Take Army Group 1 here. Their offensive line is beating Germany. Huh? And I guess like down through Prague. And like around Vienna. Stuff like that. Where yours specifically will be run for Berlin. Alright, what are you doing? Infrastructure effort? Fascinating. Alright, I'm guessing Serbia has a focus to, like, kill... Entente, blah, blah, blah. Do they not have a focus to kill Franz Ferdinand? Maybe it just happens by event. Military youth. Alright, I mean, I'm about as ready as I'll ever be. I'm gonna look up when exactly World War I started, like what day. When was Franz Ferdinand assassinated? Alright. July 28th. That's when it officially started. Franz Ferdinand was assassinated on June 28th. So it took him a month to get everything started. I'm guessing it will happen by event, considering that there aren't any focuses that do those things. Now that would be a really interesting thing for it to happen. Was that if countries could choose focuses to instigate the war, which could give really big benefits, but you're also instigating the war. And you, it's like that would be a good one for like a lot of the smaller countries. Like, I feel like if Serbia were to take a focus, assassinate Franz Ferdinand, it would be like that should get them a crap ton of manpower or something, or a lot of like tech benefits. Maybe Austria-Hungary could be like force reunification of the Balkans, and they could get a lot of stuff from it, but that would draw the ire of Russia. Germany could demand all German-speaking, demand the Benelux or whatever. France could demand like all of their territory back and more. Maybe. Secret deal with France. Okay, I appreciate it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Alright. Couple more days and Franz Ferdinand should be dead. There. What did I say? What did I say? Clip that. Franz Ferdinand, the esteemed Archduke of Austria Est and Crown Prince of the Austro-Hungarian Empire, lies dead. His noble wife rests beside him. Franz Joseph has lost another heir, and to the damned vile sons of bastards that are the Serbians. The Serbian government officially denies involvement with assassin Gavrilo Princip, blaming the Black Hand, though few believe a lack of government involvement. We have sent compensation demands to the Serbians. If they decline, they will have hell to pay. They'll all pay. I feel like this is a well-written line here. A well-written pop-up. So I think we've got a month before this really kicks off. Because we are... Serbia is in our faction. Yes, they are. We are protecting Serbia and Montenegro. Oh, right, these guys. I don't know. Wanna... me access or something? Whatever. Because you boys just, which in the same theater here. Let's call you the you're in this theater. Call this the European theater. And this can be the colonial theater. Hellenic Republic. It's kind of weird that he made this democratic and call it the Hellenic Republic. I guess so. Maybe that would emphasize him joining the Entente. I don't know about that. I don't know about that choice. And especially calling it the Hellenic Republic. Alright. Patriotic fervor, I like that. Also, there's not any description for any of this stuff yet. Again, early build. Like, we're starting to get into this. This one has stuff. Prime Minister Rene Viviani is likely not the man at fault for the issues the French military has faced at this point in the war, which has not started yet. However, he makes an excellent scapegoat and isn't exactly too important to lose. Ending his administration will please military officials and likely give at least a minor boost to the satisfaction of the population. Backing a lot of dudes right on there. Are they exercising? And taking attrition? Failed to see the wisdom of this, Germany. You're taking a little attrition. I don't care about that. One dude. Oh, there it is. There it goes. The Austro-Hungarian Empire declared war on Serbia. German Empire declared war on Belgium. Let's see, what is... what's that focus again? I mean, join the Entente. Why is there a focus for this if this is just going to happen every single time? When allies. Also, they didn't change the name of the allies to the Entente. Alright. War were declared. Alright, boys. We're gonna have to take some fresh boys over to Belgium. Alright, let's start by just taking everybody that's like the closest up here. 19. 122. Put you into here. Ba-boom. You boys. Now, I'll keep you back here for the moment, but right now I want... Alright, let's give it a little second. Alright, you're in. It's like there's no point in that focus. Alright, they also have very little morale right now. This honestly may be over before Christmas. Everybody else, you can keep exercising. You guys, let's actually get you a new guy. This is the last one here. Alright. Alright, we're pushing into Alsace-Lorraine pretty quickly here. Alright, there's Britain. Serbia refused Austrian demands. The war kind of started before this happened. So I feel like, I don't know, this event should have fired a little sooner. Serbia's refusal of the Austrian demands led to the declaration of war, which will no doubt be followed by countless others. Here begins the downward spiral into world war. Dear God, what have we done? Alright, who do we get in here? Luxembourg. Yeah, let's get Luxembourg in on this. Oh, and I can call Russia to arms. Right, forgot about that part. Heavy industry. Man, these are, despite these looking good, we're not really making much progress. I'd have to take a look at the numbers, or the game could crash. Seriously? I really hope the autosave is on. I mean, it's only been a couple months. Give it a little bit. Let it chill. Nope, it crashed. Oh, man. Well, there's that. Well, I was gonna. Okay, alright, so I think I'm done with that one for now. Alright, so give it a little critical perspective here. Alright, so first thing that I notice is that the grammar is bad. I don't. Alright, let's take a look. Who's this guy? Who made this? Can I determine where this guy is from? Created by Wolferos. Profile is private. Okay. Check his Twitter. Doesn't. A small independent game developer studio. Interesting. Doesn't give a location. I'm just curious. So is this guy? I doubt this. These guys. I feel like this is kind of saying they're a game development studio is a little generous, considering I believe the only thing they've made is Hearts of Iron 4 mod. I mean, I like their ambition though. Their Facebook page. See. Huh? I think they started doing this like more than a year ago. Okay, I think they've done a number of mods, actually. Wow, this has been in beta for at least a year. I don't know. I mean, if you want to be a studio, gotta pick up the pace, guys. I don't know. It's fine. It's all right, someone did a mod series, a series on this, played as Serbia and conquered like all of Germany. All right, we'll call this a first look. No, actually, this is a reasonably. Yeah, I mean, this is a pretty popular mod, I suppose. It's like, yeah. I mean, props to them. There's a lot of cool stuff. Just number one, the grammar kills me. Maybe that's just me as an English major. Destroys my heart. Secondly, I feel like the focus trees are not terribly interesting. They seem like they're mostly upgrade your crap. There's nothing like I didn't look at the Russia one. I should have looked at the Russia one. That one has to have some specific stuff about going communist, right? But I mean, there are some basic things for a couple of the countries like go communist. That's about it. There's that, and then what else? The game crashed. I don't think it was anything I did. Maybe calling in Russia is a bad idea. Shouldn't be a bad idea because that's World War One. I don't know. Maybe my computer just isn't up to task. So I feel like this has a lot of potential. Okay, this was first posted in June of 2016. First up, and it was recently updated 5 in the morning today. So there's a lot of there's some cool stuff here. There's certainly potential, but I'm not terribly interested in it at the moment. I think, but what I do feel like was happening was that I could not push, which is for World War One a good thing. Like, that's kind of the whole thing, is that the defensive abilities of all countries were far superior to the offensive capabilities at the time. It wasn't until pretty late that they had those land ships, and by then most of the damage was done. What really won the war for the Entente was American manpower to just push through, just force your way through. And I don't know precisely when Germany decided, hey, this is a loss, but they didn't get very far in. They didn't get very far into Germany. I don't even know if they really got through Alsace-Lorraine, because not too much fighting happened on German soil, if I'm not mistaken. So that part I appreciate. It should be more, alright, we need to defend right now and maybe build up our offenses later. I don't know. But it's cool. Just a very brief look at this. Very long-winded look at it. But it's interesting. If a lot of stuff, if stuff gets upgraded, if stuff gets updated, I may take a better look at this mod in the future. But right now, not that into it. And considering how short that was, I think I'm gonna go ahead and fire up Kaiserreich. Give that a shot. That's also World War I related. So let's do that now.